What's going on, guys? JFC here. I think I was wrong about the loans. If you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, today we got Benjamin Hendricks and Jamie Bino Gittins. I don't know how to say his name. Someone please tell me how to say his name in the comments. If you're wondering why I was pessimistic at first about this SBC, Sheriff leaked this and it just says, you know, a 99 game super loan SBC. And right away when I made my video yesterday, he didn't say anything about there would be a normal version or not. So I was just sitting here like, you know, I am very pessimistic about this. Are they going to set a precedent? Is it going to be like the same rating? Are there going to be SBCs coming out that are just singular loan SBCs? You know, I was very not so sure about this at all, really. Because I hate the idea of match limits. You know, in friendlies right now we have match limits, and there's so many things wrong with that. And you're dealing with swap tokens and all kinds of things. Having match limits on your friendly mode is just terrible. When you look through here, you got Silver Cup match limit, Homegrown 11 match limit. Whenever there's swaps, whenever there's that kind of thing, there are also match limits all over the shop, and I think that's just it's just stupid. I think it's completely stupid, especially with skill-based matchmaking in your mode. That is just horrible. Now, let's get back on track here. If we go look at these cards, both these SBCs look pretty decent, and they came out together, so we've got the regular version, also the 99 match loan version. Now, the difference in requirements is basically an 82 and 83 for Jamie, which is pretty cheap, not very expensive there, and then the loan version for 99 games is just an 82 rated squad. Now, if you look at the card in game, the Jamie card, 5'9" high medium. There's some stats in here that aren't amazing, but there are some stats that are pretty good. Like, I think this is a very good super sub, honestly, especially with a +2. The shooting goes up to like 91 finishing would be awesome. The dribbling is sick on this card. Definitely has got speed dribbler trait, which is like low-key a really good trait in the game. Some good stats in here, definitely. And Hendricks, you know, Bundesliga right backs are not the easiest to come by, and 6'1" is always a benefit on your fullbacks. I think tall fullbacks are great. Definitely could use a little bit of an increase in stats, but he's not bad. For a Bundesliga right back, you'll already be able to use this card and he'll be decent for sure. So the difference in his requirements, you're looking at for the regular card, an 84 rated squad with the Bundesliga player, and the loan version for 99 games, you're looking at an 82 rated squad with a German player. So that's a pretty decent sized difference there. So I gotta say, if EA decide to make this a permanent thing, right, or something that they do more often where they're gonna release certain cards with two versions, like loan version 99 games, then a regular version as well added on top of that, I think this could be a pretty good addition. Honestly, I do think it could be. Reason being is most people probably won't play 100 games with every card they do. I know I personally have not. So making it cheaper for the fact that maybe you are not going to be playing all 99 games with said card is probably a pretty good thing. Now, of course, you have trade-offs with that, and that is players can leave it like 0-0, right, and have a game count for you, or 1-1 or whatever. So that can bring the game value of a card down a little bit. Also, you cannot put him into an SBC. So if you ended up completing a Jamie Bino Gittins card and you ended up not using him very much and you wanted to put him in an SBC, obviously the loan version, you can't do that with this version. You can. One thing also could be a problem with this is like a lot of these things have loan players max 0. So also, if you do the loan version, you got to count in the fact that it looks like you probably can't do a lot of these players in friendlies, or you can't use them a lot in friendlies. You know, you got loan players max 1 is in like almost all these, I think. Yeah, like MLS kickoff all the way until Silver Lounge. Silver Lounge is no loan max players, but they're like no silver loans anyway. But everything here has loan players maximum 1 or 0. So count that in the fact too that you probably can't use multiple of these loan SBCs if they come out and you decide to do them. You probably don't expect to use them in friendlies, basically. So that's another like con to the loan player version as well. So that is kind of the trade-off you have there. If you don't like a card, you know, if this card gets a +2, he's gonna go to an 89 rated card. And that's a card that if you decide not to use it after a while, if you think he's behind the power curve, you got other cards that you can use instead of him, you can put an 89 rated card in an SBC. And same thing with Hendricks too, it'll be an 89 rated card. Or of course, if they draw, it'll be an 88 rated, right? So whichever one you decide to do. But I do appreciate the fact that there are some trade-offs here that you can decide if you want to do a card just for a lot cheaper. That's a loan version instead of the regular card. Now, what I worry about and what the title of this video says maybe is is this not gonna be like this forever? Are they gonna start overpricing the regular versions of cards and making the loan versions kind of the same price as the regular versions used to be, right? That's something that's possibly concerning. Also, what if they just decide eventually they just drop a few cards that are just loan versions? That is where I would be very upset. I think if you can't drop these loan versions without dropping a normal version themselves, that's like definitely a must-have. And also, if they start to overprice them, that's potentially an issue also. So I will say, if it ends up staying just like this, I'm fine with it. I think I'm really fine with it. I think with icons, they should do that too. I always love the icon loan SBCs. They're always a little too expensive considering they're just like 5 games. Like this is an 80. Oh, I guess not anymore. It's just a gold squad actually. They used to be like 82, 83, 84 rated teams for like 5 games, and that just kind of sucks. But I like being able to try out a card before I go out and do him, right? That is something that I wish they would do more of. Like I like going out, and you can also try out the loan version of this card, see if you like him, then decide, okay, I might use this card in my team for a long time. Then you go ahead and do this version, right? I like the fact that there's multiple options. I definitely do. Like I talked about, I think that it needs to be like this. If they change anything really about it, it can go downhill fast, and hope that it's not setting some sort of precedent for loan SBCs in the future coming without the regular versions, because that is where we would definitely need to draw the line as consumers to where they can't make SBCs come out where you can only play a certain amount of games with them, right? That would just be insane. It would literally be insane. I was just looking through Twitter here to try and kind of get a gauge on what the community's thinking about this. Spreadsheet FIFA, who usually has pretty good takes, says, you know what, I don't actually mind the 99 loan SBCs. I rarely use the same player more than 99 times. My only issue is that friendlies, where these cards will be used more often, don't allow you more than one loan. This guy replied, to be fair, I'm quite the opposite. I don't think there's one card in my 11 that hasn't played 100 games for me, and I have 3 over 700 games. How many players have you used in total this year? How many SBCs have you done but would like to have given a try? Another good point. Another good point here. To be fair, I've done a lot of SBCs, even some I haven't used as a just in case. I don't know. I don't think I get the same enjoyment using a card that I know will expire, and that's something that is kind of, there's something to be said there, honestly. Will you get the same enjoyment in a card that you know has 99 game, like has a 99 game match limit on it? And I know it's like, will you play 99 games? Probably not, but it's like the psychological like factor in there. Like, well, you're gonna enjoy the card as much if you know it's expiring. There's something to be said there. I think that both guys make a good point there. And of course, this guy Fuck Coder responds, that's the thing I was saying. You just gotta wonder what they're paving the way for, and that is the worry a little bit here. But before we see it, we're not going to make judgments on it yet because we just don't know, right? We just don't know. Also, by the way, mid-icon player picks, just don't do them. Okay, they're repeatable twice every 24 hours. And like if you watch people open these, they're just not very good. I mean, unless you get, there's like 15 out of 100 that like would definitely get in like everybody's team, possibly 15. And even then, it's probably more like 10, and you're not going to get one of those guys most likely. So just stay away from the mid-icon player pick, please. I'm not even, even as a content creator to even show you guys, I'm like, I'm not doing this. Like, I just don't want to. And I'll do most overpriced SBCs to show you guys. Even this one, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to pass, bro. I'm not doing it. What do you guys think? Do you guys think this is a W? Do you think this is not a W? You think this is kind of like what I was saying, kind of setting a precedent possibly for more loan SBCs in the future that we don't want? Or will they continue to do something like this and it's just going to be a benefit for the community, right? There's a couple different ways this can turn out, but I want to hear you guys have to say, because I'm curious to hear if I'm maybe being too optimistic or if I'm being too pessimistic about this, right? And also, his card just looks good. Honestly, I'm happy this card looks good. I'm being very curious to see how good he feels in game, because he's 5'9", speed dribbler trait, and the agility and balance is crazy. The dribbling is 91 too. So if you're gonna do one, which one are you doing too? Okay, I think that's it. Love you all. See you next video very, very soon. Peace.